morning sunshine, rocking the good time with all our friends. Easy and carefree, out in the summer breeze, loving a simple things for hours on end. Right about sundown, we lay on the ground, count on the stars as they come out one at a time. Ain't this a sweet life?
Hey everybody, I'm X Factor winner Tate Stevens, and welcome to the Sweet Life Podcast, where we talk about everything from music, sports, food, entertainment, and, well, just living the sweet life. Hey everybody, it's me, Tate Stevens, and as always, AJ Crunk.
Yeah.
There it is, see? Well, that's a good one. That's a new.
It's so good.
That's a new one. We should do that one.
Yeah.
You should
Like making people as they're listening puke in their own mouths.
Man, today's show, we got a lot to talk about. I had a big week in Indianapolis at the ATAs, which is the archery trade show.
Yeah.
So if you're a hunter, it's kind of a cool thing to do. You get to go look at brand new bows and all kind. Just it's really cool. It's pretty cool. I mean, from blinds to bows to strings to arrows and broadheads and anything you can do with hunting, clothes,
Bows and Sony and different kind of bows.
Different kind of bows. But anyway, so we'll talk a little bit about that. Hunting season wrapped up on the 15th of the month. I shot a doe for some freezer meat, so I got some deer meat in the freezer.
Shoot, yeah.
Yeah, and shot a big one during rifle season. Couldn't find him. Made a bad shot, I think. I'm not sure. We just couldn't find him. So we're going to go back this coming week, and we're going to look again. We're going to go just keep going. There's a big creek in there, and I think he might have made it to the creek, trying to get away. That's what they do when they get hurt. So we'll see. Hopefully he's in the creek dead, and I'll be able to recover him. You know, at least that part of it, and that chapter will be done, and I'll had that closure with him because he's a beautiful, beautiful animal. So anyway, so man, yeah. After that, so let's stick around. There's lots of shit to talk about. All right, so hunting season wrapped up, like I said just a second ago. It was a good one. It wasn't great. It was a good. We saw a lot of great deer. And had a couple buddies take some really nice deer, and Hayden and I both shot does, and so we had that freezer meat going, but all in all, I just love to be out there doing it. It's kind of like fishing. You get out on a boat. Yeah. I'm ADD enough that if I don't catch something within a few hours, I start to, I'll throw 50 different baits in the water, change poles 5 times, I'm just doing whatever just to stay somewhat sane at that point. But I mean, it's okay when you're out there and it's a great, the temperature's great or whatever, fishing and hunting. To me, that's the most solace. It's like just beautiful. It's just perfect. Like, it's like going to, it's like being one with nature kind of. Yeah. When I'm in my tree stand, and all hunters can, will say basically the same thing. You're so in tune, to everything that's going on around you. Your sight gets better, for most of them. Your hearing gets better. Your senses heighten, because you're just aware of your surroundings. Yeah. You don't have your cell phone's not ringing. Yep. Things like that. You're not distracted. You're just focused on that one thing. And it's so cool, to be, and for us to even go do that. Yeah. It's awesome. It's great we live in this country because other countries don't have the right to do that. Yeah. And, so anyway, regardless of that, I'm not getting political, but, same with fishing. Like I said, you're out on a body of water, or even if you're on the bank, and the water's great, you know what I mean? Oh, it's just, man, it's almost like, it's like one of the best drugs you can have. Yeah. And it's free. Yeah. I mean, you got to pay for your license.
Well,
so
but
I mean, but it's something.
Or if you know somebody with a
good pond.
Good pond, yeah.
Pond fishing is some of the best fishing on the planet. It's so much fun. And it's nothing like big water fishing, fishing in a big lake. You can go to a pond, and those dudes are trapped in that little area. So you can throw something, and if they're hungry, they're going to bite it.
Tracking catfish hunter.
Catfish hunter. Anyway,
one of my favorite movies.
wrapped up the hunting season.
Yeah.
Looking forward to spring turkey and spring fishing. I know a lot of people are fishing right now. They're crappie fishing and stuff like that. And I'll start doing that pretty soon too, here in the next few weeks. But getting that spring fishing going, spring turkey is going to be so much fun. That's one of my favorite things to do is hunt turkey. So we'll have a big thing on turkey hunting coming up and fishing. But went to the ATAs, like I said, in Indianapolis, and it's for buyers and retailers and things like that. So, and it's just everybody that's in the industry, for not everybody, but 90% of all things that are in, like all the different archery products from, like I said, bows, strings, sights, releases, and then it goes into feeders and feed and blinds, hunting blinds and stands and clothing and just all kinds. Sure. It's everything, right? So you get to see all these brand new products.
It's like the NAM show.
It's NAM.
Hunting.
It is NAM. It's the music. It's the hunting version of NAM.
I always wanted to go to a NAM show.
Yeah. That'd be. You can't get through it all if you're a music guy. You're staring at everything like, oh my god,
I want that.
that. Oh, I'd love to play through that. Things like that. But yeah, it's that SHOT Show, ATAs. Yeah. That's what that's for. Sure. SHOT Show is going on right now, I think, in Las Vegas, or maybe this weekend. Was it last weekend or this? Anyway, so it's either going on or just finishing up. I can't remember. Out in Vegas, and that's another big trade show. Right? Yeah, same thing.
Absolutely.
But man, I got to meet so many cool people in the industry, in the hunting industry.
Yeah,
people that you watch on TV. Michael Waddell from the Bone Collectors. Him and Nick Munn. They were there.
Old Bill Dance.
Oh, Bill. No, Bill Dance.
Is he not still doing this thing anymore?
Well, he's fishing, so he wouldn't be there. But
that's true.
Roger Ragland, who's been on TV for 40-some years, man. He was there, got to meet him, talk with him. The Pigman, who I'm a big fan of.
Tell me about it. All right, who is the Pigman?
Dude, so
for those listeners who are
the Pigman, you got to go check it out. His hunting show, I mean, obviously it's about killing pigs, killing hogs. Wild hogs and stuff like that. But he kills deer, elk, turkeys. He kills all the above. He'll go bow fishing and stuff like that too. But his big deal is what he calls pinching. He pinches, and that's killing something. He's like, I feel like I need to pinch, and then he'll go kill a hog. But he is exactly who he is on TV.
Yeah,
when you meet him, and which is awesome because some of the people aren't.
Yeah.
And that's in anything. That's in the music industry too. You see him on tour, or see him in a concert, and you're like, oh my god, that guy's so great. Then when they get off stage and they're by themselves at McDonald's, and you run into them, they're just not that person,
right?
So anyway, so it was kind of cool getting to meet the Pigman and all that. But if you don't, like I said, if you don't know who the Pigman is, you got to go check him out.
I guess
another guy that we're going to get on the show. He's got his own hunting show here in Kansas City, Ronnie Phillips, Heartland Waterfowl, right?
Old Ronnie Billy.
Yeah, old Ronnie Billy. They have a great, if you love waterfowl hunting, ducks and geese, and it's a really, really good show. I've watched several episodes from seasons, last year and the year before and all that. And I'm not a big duck or goose hunter.
Mm-hmm.
I've been a few times, and it's fun.
Yeah,
but it's just not really. I would do it if they're like, "Hey, Tater, you got to come out." I'd be like, "Absolutely, we'll kill some ducks and geese." I don't eat it. You know what I mean? Because it's gross. and everybody's like, "Oh, you could the way." No, it doesn't matter how you cook duck or how you cook goose. It's still gross.
I had duck one time.
Really?
Up in where was I? Nebraska or Iowa, somewhere up there. They had this restaurant that said something about the. I was like, okay, they have duck. I'm gonna try. Tasted like chicken to me.
Yeah, nothing like chicken. Nothing.
What?
To me, no way. Duck is disgusting. and there's no way to cook it. I've had it Peking style, which is the. He was looking at me. He was peeking at me. No, no, like Peking duck, and then I've had it roasted. I think it was grilled with bacon around it one time, and I'm like, and bacon can make a turd taste good, right?
Yeah.
Nope. No, it's not. I can't eat it. So anyway, some people love it. Some people are just fine with it. They're like, no, we had a Christmas goose every year. Yeah, well, that's disgusting, and I wouldn't come to your house for Christmas dinner. But anyway, Ronnie, you got to check that out. Heartland Waterfowl is a good show if you're into hunting. So anyway, so as I go to this ATA show, right?
Yeah.
Obviously looking for cool stuff for me myself.
So how do you get an invite to this thing? Or is it like buy a ticket?
No. It's you have to be a retailer or a buyer to get in, to be let in. So our buddy Ron Sievert, who we had on the show, the gun store owner, he's a buyer, so he gets tickets. He can go. So we went with him, and so just going. I mean, I seen so many things that I'm like, I'd love to have that. I want that. I want that.
Sure.
I want that. I want that. I use those, whatever. So and you talk to these. You actually talk to the people who are making it.
Yeah.
Now, not always, but some of these guys you meet, and they're like, "Hey, how you doing?" I'm like, "Hey, Bob Banks. He makes Banks blinds, hugely popular in the hunting industry."
Yeah.
Bob's just standing there, in his own booth, showing his products, and I'm like, that's crazy." This guy's probably worth tens of millions because of his business that he has. Banks blinds, and they're expensive, like $4,000 for this hunting blind. But they're really nice and all that. But anyway, he's just standing there.
Yeah.
Talking to everybody, selling his product.
Isn't that surreal whenever you see somebody that's like, not necessarily on, or maybe somebody you grew up watching on TV or something, just standing there, and you're just like, wow, that's
just not. Well, like Michael Waddell. Michael Waddell started with the Realtree guys and filming for them. And then he got in front of the camera and started killing animals in front of the camera. Then they became the bone collectors, him and T-Bone and Nick Mund. Yeah. They have their own brand. I mean, they're coming out with their own shotgun, for turkeys and stuff. I mean, crazy. He's just standing there in the, I think it was the Havalon booth, Havalon Hunting Knives booth. Yeah. He's just standing there talking to people because they're one of his sponsors. So he showed up and talking with everybody. And it's like, it's cool, man. Yeah. And seeing Roger Ragland, Roger's been on TV longer than God. You know what I mean? He started, long time when hunting shows first started. Yeah. He was one of the first to have a hunting show.
Well, one time, let's see, this is probably back in mid 2000s. I'd say 2004, 2005. Right. Buddy of mine that I used to play music with here in Harrisonville, went to high school with. Excuse me. His cousin or uncle, I can't remember which, lived in Columbia, and he worked at the Hearn Center in Columbia, and he used to be some kind of a manager there as far as getting people in and out, loading and unloading the trucks and all that kind of stuff. Right. And he told him, he's like, hey, if you and a couple of your buddies ever want to, just any events you want to work, just let me know, and we'll get you on the list, and you can help us unload trucks and set up stuff, and then get to see the shows for free, and then load it all back up and whatever, get paid for it. So I was like, oh, dude, I'm totally in. The first one that I did was Rascal Flats. It was Cletus T. Judd.
Oh yeah,
Rascal Flats, and something. Brian McComas? Was that Brian McComas?
Brian McComas, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, it was like those three guys on this bill. And we did it was the most elaborate stage. Easily, I think it was about 10 tractor trailers full of gear. Yeah. It's just mind blowing. And the second one we did was Alabama on their farewell tour.
The first one.
The first farewell tour. Dude, Randy Owen was not a pleasant person.
Really?
Oh.
Really?
And their manager was talking to my buddy's cousin. Right. He's just like, that's the most, talking about Randy Owen, he's like, that's the most miserable millionaire you'll ever meet.
Really?
Yeah, he was, I think he was over it. pretty well. Like I think the dressing room was 2 degrees off temperature that he wanted it, and like said, he wasn't going to go on unless the temperature was corrected and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, it was a big mess. But that, and we did, and what made me think of that, we did a live event for WWE when they came through. So me and another buddy of mine were backstage, like moving some stuff around. It's just like, there's Sergeant Slaughter. Holy crap. It's like, just standing there, just like,
Yep. Yeah, so that's kind of how this was. But, I mean, not to that extent. But there was hunting, Lee and Tiffany Lakowski. They have the Crush. Yeah. They were there.
You're just naming off people I have no idea.
You have no idea, yeah. The Pigman, Roger Raglan, like I said,
you could be just totally making people up for all I know.
No, so
Jimmy T was there and with his bobbers.
With his bobbers.
I don't know.
No, anyway, so it was cool.
It's hunting, not fishing.
Yeah, hunting. Okay. So it was pretty neat to see. Like I said, for a hunter, it's really cool because I seen things that are not even going to come out this year. It'll be 2024 before they come out.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. That as a hunter, like, wow, that's going to be great. I can't wait. I wish it was coming out now because I want one. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so that was kind of cool. But while I was there, I was kind of networking, if you will. Excuse me. Is there a follow up? No, and there. Hey, so anyway, sometimes there's two. Sometimes weird. No, so as I was there, I was networking.
Yeah.
With the hunters and the product owners and stuff like that. The guys who have these products that we use. And I was telling them about the Helping a Hero thing that we're doing. Oh. We're trying to get it off the ground, and there's a lot of moving parts at this point. So we're still in those baby steps for getting these guys like Shiloh, who we had on, and some of these other veterans that we're going to bring up to turkey hunt, deer hunt, fish, stuff like that.
Sure.
So I'm trying to partner up with some of these professional hunters and things like that. So. It was a good opportunity for me to do that, to just put something, in the back of their mind going, hey, if I call, answer the phone, it's going to be for this. I'm not going to bug you. I just, see if you can make it in. Now, some of the guys were like, absolutely, like the Pigman. Pigman's like, he knows Shiloh. So he was like, dude, I had Shiloh. He goes, Shiloh hunted with me before. So I'm in. He was like, yes, I'm in. Whatever I need to do, whatever you need help with, let me know. So I'm like, that's awesome.
Very cool.
Good for you, man. Thank you. Some of them were just like, man, I just don't know if I'll have time, or, they were the nice way of saying, I'm not going to be a part of what you're doing.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I don't care. And I'm not going to bag on them for not doing it. But it was cool for that. And I met with some people here in town. I didn't even know, we have some reps here, and one lives in Harrisonville.
Really?
Yeah. And I'm like, cause he was like, oh, kids, where you, we're like, or it said Raymore, I think, on our thing, because that's where Ron's shop is. He's like, oh, I'm in Harrisonville. We're like, what?
Huh.
Yeah, man, my wife, I think his wife teaches at Ray Peck. So it's like, how do I not know you?
Yeah, no kidding.
How do we not know each other?
Wow.
Anyway, so I met some people that are hopefully going to help us and be partners with us in the Helping a Hero Outdoor thing. Yeah, and if like I said, that's kind of there's a lot of moving parts to that. It sounds pretty simple.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll just get a guy up and we'll get him. There's so much to it. And it's like, I forgot about that. I didn't think about that. Not just, they got to pay for their license, their out-of-state license and fees, which I think we can get most of that taken care of through some sponsors.
Yeah.
We have gun sponsors. So if they're going to go gun hunting, Ron at Gunners, he's going to provide all the ammunition and guns for them. If they need a crossbow, he's going to give them a crossbow and stuff like that to use. And so we have it pretty well figured out on that stuff. Transportation, because most of these guys live in Texas or some other place, so we got to get them here. So and then when they're here, we got to put them up and feed them.
Yeah,
and things like that. So it's kind of one of those things. Like I want to do it, and I'm going to see this thing through. But golly, you don't think of the little stuff, and it's all little stuff. I'm like, okay, I can, like, one guy is going to help us out with their hunting gear, so they have the clothes that they need. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that's the guy here in town. So it's like, cool, no big deal. I'll call him a few weeks in advance, a couple months in advance. Hey, what size of this you need? And we're going to get it for them. Yeah. So when they get here, they'll have everything they're going to need.
Nice.
If they don't already have it. Some of these guys are already going to have their own stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And want to bring their own stuff, which is great and all that. But anyway, so I used it as a networking opportunity all week, and it was great to for the Helping a Hero outdoors thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm excited about that. We only got a few months. I mean, April is turkey season, so I got to get on the ball and get that stuff going. And something else that's coming up is our summer shows. We leave this Saturday. We're going to Nebraska.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, it's going to be fine because it'll be an actually early day. It'll be an early start to the day.
Yes. I was crunching the numbers in my head.
Yeah. No, it'll be a 4:00 leave in the morning kind of thing.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's going to be so good. But we'll be back. I think we're
coming
done.
Down.
I think we'll be back. I think we'll be back before midnight.
Yeah.
So it'll be fine. I mean, it'll just, and they're kind of, for me right now, I kind of got to do these things, a little bit to continue to book these fairs and festivals and things like that and keep that part of it going. And then, oh God. It's just, it's always something.
It's always something.
So here's the thing. So I'm thinking about this weekend and everything, and we got to put a little show together, and it's so hard to showcase, to do everything we do in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Most of them are 18. You have 18 minutes.
Yeah.
You're like, I can do a couple songs and that's kind of it, in that short of time.
Yeah.
So how do you represent yourself in that short amount of time? As far as, here's what I do, this is what we sound like.
Yeah.
And this is, it's hard to entertain somebody in a short amount of time who's just sitting there and it's one band after another band after another band, so you're going to hear a lot of the same songs.
Oh, yeah.
And
well, way down yonder on the Chattahoochee.
Everybody's starting with that one. That's everybody's opening song. But you know what I mean? So,
that's the true test. They ought to make everybody do the same set.
Oh, can you imagine how terrible that would be?
It would be awful.
I would just go and put earplugs in and watch people. And just watch the audience. You know what I mean?
Oh, God. Oh. It's like, how many different ways can you hear wagon wheel?
Yeah, so...
up, down, up, down, up, down.
I can't
either.
I can't do it. But anyway, so we got that to look forward to this weekend.
Hey, we may just record us some shows on the way down there.
I think it's a good idea. I think we do a on the road series of podcasting this year.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
I think every time we go out and do a show, I think we have I think we do the podcast from the road.
Absolutely.
And I think videos, we can do it with our phones, set our phones up and shoot the videos with our phones, or luckily Ken will be at most of our shows. So he's got those cool cameras, so we can set up a camera maybe and do an audio and video thing there, which will be cool. But if not, we'll figure it out. We got some GoPros going.
Absolutely.
Throw up some GoPros and some phones and we'll be good. I think the content will be
interesting.
I'll
have my editing job cut out for me there.
I would imagine. But and it'll be a lot of the same. Oddly enough, it'll be oddly the same because a lot of people and even on the big tours, we were out with Alan Jackson, huge tour, and it's like you wake up in a different town, and it's exactly the same.
Yeah,
you go in and your catering is breakfast and lunch. It's different. You know, you don't have the same thing every day, but it's still the same.
Yeah.
You know, it's basically the same thing every day, kind of, you know, and,
Sure.
and it's like, oh, you go in, okay, here's catering, here's crafty. So you got to go in, you're going to eat breakfast if you get up in time, or you just go in for lunch or whatever. And then you set up, you do your setup and sound check, and then you get out of the way, you know, for whatever else is happening. And then you have the rest of the day to either do a radio thing for the radio station that's in town or close, or you play video games or go sleep at the hotel or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, go hang out, go ride go-karts and whatever. Go to the movie. A lot of times went to the movies, you know, in the middle afternoon, because we knew we didn't have to be back until 7:30. You know, we went on at 7:30, so we have from noon to 7:30 to do whatever we want, you know. And you know, you go sightseeing if it's a cool town, you know, walk around if you can, you know, if you're close to historic stuff or, but it's always the same, you know. And then there's then the towns, some of them, we were in some of them where we'd go in and it was just, you walked into the arena or to the venue, the theater or whatever you were doing, and everything's inside and there's not a lot going on elsewhere.
Yeah.
And you're stuck on the bus or at the hotel, and it's like, this is so cool.
That's when it starts getting dangerous right there.
And then you're like, you know,
Yep.
4 more hours. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, you know, I it's awesome. It's, you know, I got to where I loved it to enough that I was like, okay, I'm fine.
Yeah.
You know, I could play my video games on the bus. You know, I'd go. I'd go to the hotel and shower. Yeah. No.
Anyway,
so
yeah.
and you know, we were in Salt Lake. I think we were in Salt Lake, or somewhere around Salt Lake, and it was us and Clay Walker and the band Perry and Parmalee. Big outdoor music festival thing. And so the guys, they had all kinds of cool stuff set up at this place, and they had like a go-kart track, but these go-karts were like badass go-karts.
Yeah.
And they had like a little, I think they looked like little Indy cars or something, and they were fast.
Oh, cool.
And the guys did that, and they were, I mean, there were so many things to do at this festival. It was like a week-long festival, so there were so many people and so many things going on, you know.
Yeah.
It was crazy. And so there was a lot of times it was like that. And, you know, like I said, go to the movies. You know, if there was a mall close that had a movie theater, we were like, all right, what movie's playing? You know, we'd all go to the movies during the afternoon and you know, stuff like that.
I mean, what else do you do?
Yeah. And because you were just there waiting to do the show.
Yep.
And it's like, you know, and we'd sit around and play guitars, but, you know, or work on stuff.
Sure.
You know, you're like, hey, let's work on the intro or the ending of that one. You know, it's not feeling right or whatever. Mm-hmm. Or let's change this. We can move this in the set tonight. Let's try it this way.
Yeah.
And we'd do stuff like that too. Excuse me. Or we'd work up new material, you know, throw in new songs here and there.
Yeah.
Cover songs or whatever.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's it's kind of cool. But I know I got way off the track there. But yeah, so the moving parts of the whole thing of that, and then now getting ready for this summer. I think we'll have a really good summer. I think you know, we're already putting dates on the books, and which is good. You know, and I'm hoping that more will come in, and it'll probably be like last year. It'll probably be about the same number, and you know, we're pretty close, you know, one way or the other. So it'll be a good summer. It'll be fun, you know, getting out and playing. But this year, I've already talked to the agents and stuff that are working with us, and I'm like, here's the things we have to have.
Yeah.
We can't go forward with the certain things, and and not that we're anybody or anything like that. It's like the basic stuff.
Yeah.
It's it's a real sound company. If you guys are going to do sound for us, has to be a legitimate sound company.
You drive hours and hours and hours to get there to just
and just to be bummed out.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to do it. So so we've had the conversations. I'm like, make sure they read the rider.
Right.
When they come in, you hand that rider to them and ask them, do you guys have sound and lights? Yes, we do. We will provide sound and lights for them. Okay, here's his technical rider. This is everything he's going to need. No exceptions.
Yeah.
Now a board, that's fine. Whatever. Certain things, they're like, well, our stage we have a built-in stage, so it's a little smaller or a little bigger, whatever.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah.
But here's the things we have to have, and just like a green room, there's got to be a dressing room on site. If you don't have one, there's got to be a way for us to just hang out. I mean, or a hotel with a runner. We're going to need a runner then.
Yep.
So you're going to have to designate a runner. So whenever we need to get back and forth to the hotel, you got to go take us.
Yep.
So there's going to be some different things that were on the rider. That no one ever read,
it's so funny whenever you send people a stage plot or something, and they're just like, okay, cool, thanks. And then you get there, it's like, so what's your setup? How many people you got in it? It's like, well.
There was a stage plot that I emailed. What's your name? Is your email this? I emailed it to you. You might want to look at it.
You said thanks when I emailed it to you.
Yeah, so. And but I told him, I'm like, look, there was a few bad things that happened.
Yeah.
Can't do it again. I'll just make them pay me, and then we'll go home.
Yeah.
And like, yep, you signed the rider, you signed off on it.
Absolutely.
Here's the contract. You pay me. I'm going.
Well, hopefully we can get through the summer without any car problems.
You know what? And here's the thing. I know we're not taking my truck. So coming back from hunting the other night, a week ago Sunday.
Okay.
Hayden and I went up to the farm, and it was one of those times. It was going to be one of the last times I got to hunt. Well, it ended up being the last time I got to hunt for the season. So, because we went out of town to Indianapolis, and when we got back, I had things to do, and so anyway, didn't work out. So I'm like, I know this is going to be my last time, or second to last time I get to be in a tree stand. I'm going to kill something this evening. If something comes in, it's going to die, right? Yeah. And sure enough, I'm staying. I hadn't been in the stand 5 minutes, and I look over my left shoulder, and deer are walking down towards me. So I'm like, it's going to be an early evening, right? So it was a few does, but they just milled off, and I didn't see them again. Don't know where they went, but they went somewhere. So I was sitting there. I had been in my stand 45 minutes, and here comes a coyote. And I'm like, you are definitely dying. So grab my bow. He walks into 20 yards, and I let him have it. So he goes off and dies. He runs off and dies. So I'm like, all right, feeling pretty good. It was a good, if nothing else comes in, killed a coyote. We have 1,000 of them on our property. We got to get rid of them, right?
I killed good old coyote meat.
Yeah. Have some coyote stew. I don't. Ooh, golly, I couldn't imagine eating a coyote. I could if I was starving.
Sure,
but
yeah.
So we have so many coyotes, we have to kill them. I mean, because they kill turkeys and deer, and they kill all kinds of stuff. All the little upland birds, our quail and pheasants and stuff, and so we kill them every chance we get. Yeah. And so anyway, so I shoot this coyote. He goes off and dies. So I hang my bow, put another arrow, knock another arrow, hang my bow back up. Then I'm sitting there, and a couple hours go by, and it's starting to get dark now, and I'm like, here comes some does. So one was, I think she saw me move, So she was really freaked out, and she was about to tell on me. So she had to go.
Yeah.
So I killed her. And yeah, and I did. I shot her, and she's in the freezer. So it's good.
There you go.
Yeah, it's good. Got some good meat out of it, and she was a big old fat doe too. So she was good. She's gonna be tasty. Gonna be tasty. So anyway, so I'm not taking. So that story. Story, we're not taking my truck because on the way home.
Yeah.
Here we go. Got my trailer with my mule, my deer in the back of the mule. Hayden and I are going home, and then I look down, and my truck's running hot. I look in the rearview mirror, and it's just smoke blowing out of my truck. And I'm like, oh no, we're out in the middle of nowhere, man. I mean, we are literally in this highway. There's no one, nothing, and so. Luckily, my buddy was in front of us a little bit, so he turned around and followed us in. We were only a few miles from Polo, Missouri. So we turned and went to the Casey's in Polo, and I limped it in there and called Ashley. I'm like, hey, truck's broke down. I need you to bring Hayden's truck to Polo, pick up the trailer so we can haul the trailer home.
Yeah.
So she got in Hayden's truck because he rode with me, so he drove his truck over here. So anyway.
Yeah.
She comes up, and that's this is like 7 o'clock in the evening.
Yeah.
Right? So I called her at like 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, you need to come get us. Okay. She got on the phone with State Farm, which is our insurance company, right? She gets on the phone with State Farm. And we have roadside assistance through State Farm, right?
Yeah.
So she calls, and they were like, yeah, you need to call the whatever, and we'll get you a tow truck. So she was like, it's going to be $350 for a tow truck.
Holy moly.
And I'm like, okay. So I called my nephew because he knows all the tow truck guys around here, and he drove for a couple of them part-time when he needed some extra work and stuff.
Yeah.
So I said, hey, call one of your buddies and see, so I get a hold of one of his friends at a tow service here in town, and they're like, $600 will come get you. $600. And I'm like, okay, never mind. We'll stay with State Farm. I'll stick with the $350.
I'm in the wrong business.
Yeah. So anyway, so we call State Farm. They're like, yep, we got you one. As soon as we get a service, as soon as we get a provider, to come get you, we'll let you know. So give us a little bit. Give us an hour.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Not a big deal. We're at Casey's. Casey's is open in Polo all night long. They serve pizza till midnight.
Oh yeah.
So we're like, I'm good.
Oh yeah.
We're okay. We're all right. It's 25 degrees outside. I put some ice in my deer, you know. So I'm like, hey, we're good.
Yep.
Everything's gonna be fine. So Ashley gets there about an hour and 15 minutes after I called.
Okay.
She's on the phone with State Farm. Hey, are we okay? They're still checking on us. Blah blah blah. So I go inside and I'm like, does anybody know any tow truck drivers? And the lady from the side's like, yeah, there's 2 here in town. I'm like, you have a number? So I call one. She calls the guy that she knows. She's like, hey, there's a guy. Oh, he was in Kansas City towing somebody. So it'd be like, he's like, I don't know if I'll be able to get back for 3 or 4 hours. So I'm like, that's all right, whatever. Another guy didn't answer. So State Farm, we get a hold of State Farm. And that's like 8:30.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh yeah, here's the number of the service.
Okay.
So I call the service guy, right? And I'm like, hey, State Farm told me to call you. They said you guys are on your way to get us. And he was like, never got a call from State Farm. I have no idea what you're talking about. And I said, this is said tow service. Yeah. And the guy was like,
perfect.
And I'm the dispatcher. He goes, so I would get that call. And no. I'm like, oh, good.
Yeah.
Good. He goes, where are you at? I told him. He was like, well, I got a guy some place in Kansas City.
Yeah.
Dropping somebody off, in their car. But he was like, let me see what I can do. And I was like, well, I'll call State Farm back. So we call State Farm back.
Yeah.
The lady's like, oh my gosh, there must have been a mix up.
Yeah.
Now, I've already paid State Farm $350.
Yeah.
They've already taken my money,
Yeah.
you know? And so she was like, give me a minute. Let me see if I can find, I'll call that provider, you know, I'll call that service.
Yeah.
So like 45 minutes goes by. It's 9:30.
Yeah.
It's crazy, right? And I'm like, what in the hell's going on? So State Farm calls back. Okay. The provider said something. So call this number. So I call the guy back.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, man, I'm going to be honest with you. I probably can't come get you.
What does that even mean?
And I'm like, what do you?
I probably can't
because so anyway, he goes, but there's a dispute between us and State Farm. Okay. So I'm pissed off.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, man. He goes, is this your cell phone number? I said yes. And he was like, all right, give me some time. I'm gonna try to figure something out for you.
Okay.
I'm like, okay. Call State Farm.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, every time we call State Farm, they're like, okay, we'll send you this number. And then like an hour, 30, 45 minutes go by. No. And then boop, we get a number and we call that. And it's the same guy. And I'm like, what in the, I'm so pissed. So now it's like we're creeping on like 10:30, 10:45.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. State Farm calls my wife. Well, because my wife, she called and she was like, okay, what's going on? There's a dispute or something. So my phone rings and it's the tow truck guy. And I'm like, hello. He's like, yeah, you still need a tow? I'm like, yeah. He goes, what did you have to pay State Farm? I said, $350.
Yeah.
He's like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah. He goes, I'll come get you for $350. Get your money back. What? He goes, call him, tell him you want your money back. And call me when you get it back and I'll come get you. And then he kind of told me what was going on between them. So
were they trying to give him like $100 out of it or something?
Yep. So I called State Farm. Called State Farm back.
State Farm.
And State Farm's like, well, this is what the lady told us.
Oh, God. Okay.
Now, this isn't our agent. Obviously, this is the after hours thing. Our
agent, somebody sitting in their basement.
Yeah, probably.
Taking calls.
Yeah, and so she's like, yeah, we're having trouble getting somebody to pick you up. Now we're creeping up to midnight. It's like 11:30. And so my wife's like, okay, luckily we're in a parking lot of a Casey's convenience store that's open all night long.
Sure.
So we can go in and get drinks, go to the bathroom or whatever. Go get warm if we have to because it's 20 degrees outside now. Mm-hmm. She was like, what if I was on the highway by myself? Are you just saying you couldn't do anything for me and I'm stranded all by myself out in the middle of nowhere? And the lady's like, well, we're just having trouble with that provider. So I'm like, dude, get your money back. So I call the guy and I'm like, okay, we're getting our money back. Come get me. He's like, all right, give me like 45 minutes. We'll be there. So right around midnight, they come pick us up, pick my truck up, and bring us home. I got home at 2:00 in the morning.
Wow.
This all started at 7 in the evening.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I'm like,
crazy.
what in the... So... Anyway, and it was something so simple. It was a little hose that goes to my the core heater or whatever. I can't remember what he said. It was like, yeah, it's just, it came off, broke. So we put a new one on, $400.
Could have just put some duct tape on that thing.
I know. A little baling wire and duct tape fixed a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. But, anyway, so I'm just knocking on wood that it wasn't something major with my truck.
Yeah.
But it's almost like now it's almost every month something.
Oh, yeah.
It's something
Dude,
little,
I had to change some rotors.
Oh, yeah.
This last weekend.
On the Bronco?
No, on the Chevy.
Mm-hmm.
So get this, the driver's side tire, and I'm not a mechanic, but I've changed a tire or two in my day. Okay, so I take all the lug nuts off,
Right.
go to pull the tire.
It's welded.
That thing is not coming off.
It's welded to the thing.
It wasn't welded, but it was basically rusted together with the rotor.
Well, that's what I mean. It's basically welded to the rotor.
So I'm sitting there, I'm kicking it, I am pulling, I'm just everything you can think of. I started looking up videos and stuff, all the stuff people have done and everything. It's like spray some WD-40 on there and let it set for a while. I'm like, okay, I tried that. Yeah. Let it set for like 25, 30 minutes. Nothing. And finally, one guy, he had a like a butane or like a blowtorch. Yeah. And he was just like heating it up, letting the stuff expand, and then you can knock it off. So I had a propane torch. Yep. I had one of those, and of course the propane was out. And I was like, so I had a heat gun. And I was like, well, this is the best I got right now. I sat there for like 15 minutes with the heat gun, just going all the way around the lugs with it. Finally got it off, got the tire off, and pulled got everything all loosened up, got the rotor, pulled the rotor right off. Went over to the other side, tire came off just fine. Rotor would not come off, still won't come off. I mean, I just had to give up on it. It just would not come off. Yeah. It's like the wheel bearing inside, something broke on it, and now it's just like locked in there. So I don't know how in the world I'm going to get it off, but one of these days I'll get that thing off there. But so I have a new rotor on the driver's side, old rotor, but all new brake pads. So I went ahead and replaced the brake pads. But dude, it was just an all weekend thing of me trying different things to get that off there.
I will say that I applaud you for trying, because I'm not mechanically inclined. Yeah. Like certain things I can do. Yeah. Change tires, obviously. Mm-hmm. I can change oil and stuff like that. But I am don't get me to bleed brakes or anything dumb. You will die if I do it, because I won't get it done right, or I'm just like I said, basic stuff I can do, but golly, I can't.
Well, normally I would just be like, all right, I'm taking it into the shop. Yeah. Dude, labor is so outrageous. Yeah. You almost can't afford to.
No, right. And everything's outrageous. Parts are outrageous. Yep. Because, you can't get certain things. I mean, there's new vehicles that, if something breaks on them, that vehicle's just done. Yeah. You might as well just cash it in and get another one, because they can't fix it because the parts aren't even, either they're not available yet, or something weird like that, or they can't get certain parts because they're not made here. They're made somewhere else, and they're not making those parts now for whatever reason. You know what I mean? And it's like there was a transmit. I can't remember who had. Somebody had some transmission issues, and they were like, "Yeah, it's going to be a couple months." God, it was one of my neighbors, and they were like, "Yeah, it's going to be a couple months before they can get you."
Just pull it off there and rebuild it. Watch a YouTube video.
And I'm like, obviously, I think it was under warranty.
Oh, yeah.
It was a warranted thing, but they couldn't get the part because they couldn't make it, or they didn't have them, or, they were back ordered for a few months. And it's like, so what do these people do? I guess you get a courtesy car from the dealership. Yeah. And you just drive it until your truck or car is finished. I guess, right?
Yep. Something like that.
I mean, especially if it's a warranted issue. Mm-hmm. Now, I can see if your car broke down, you'd have a warranty, you take it in, you're like, man, it's going to be a month before we can ever get to it. Yeah. Then you got to go rent a car. I get that. Hopefully your insurance, you have that coverage on your insurance. But, if it's a warranty issue and they're still not going to be able to fix it for a long period of time, I guess the dealership has to give you a car. Yeah. I would imagine.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
I mean, that happened to me, back when I had my Jeep.
It happened to my folks too, not too long ago. Their little transmission thing, they had to go they had to go rent a car because the dealership didn't have any cars. So when they finally
dealership didn't have any cars,
I'm like, what are you talking about? You got a whole damn lot full of cars. Just pull one of those. Pull one of those new ones.
Hey, I see a 2022 Bronco sitting right there. I think I'll take that.
I'll just drive that one. And so anyway, they finally got one. Like a couple days later, they were able to get a courtesy car, if you will.
Yeah.
But it's like,
that's insane.
Yeah. I mean, So yeah, no, we're not taking my truck. We're not taking my truck. And it seems like every month it's like something little like the hose. And,
Yeah.
you know, I think what was it? Not too long ago, I had to get something fixed on it. And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, but you think.
My heater didn't work.
Yeah.
I didn't have any heat or defroster or anything. It was just cold air blowing.
Yeah.
So the heater core or whatever it is thing went out. So I had to get a new one.
Yeah.
And
I guarantee you can't get a new car of any kind almost for any less than what, $400 or $500 a month.
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, just the way
Probably not.
Rates
Probably
are going
not.
up and prices are going up.
Well,
I mean,
the interest rates are so high on cars.
Yeah.
You're at like 7 and 9%
Yeah.
on cars.
that's stupid.
That's so dumb.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, who can afford that?
Nobody.
You better bring the price of the car down because you're not going to sell any.
Mm-mm.
You know, people are just going to start buying used cars again. But
Yep.
used cars are new prices.
Yep.
You know, I mean, I think in the whole chip problem, I think, you know, couldn't all these new trucks and cars that needed a chip, they couldn't get them.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be over pretty quick.
Yeah.
I think the chip companies are going to start making a ton of them. So you're going to
sure.
start seeing tons of brand new vehicles. You know, but here's the problem. That truck has been sitting there. There's 2021s and 2022s that still don't have chips in them.
Yeah.
They're going to come out. It'll be a brand new 2021 in 2023.
Yeah.
And they can't change the date because it's all on the vehicle already. That vehicle has already been stamped. All that VIN number
Oh, yeah.
is already stamped on that car.
Yep.
So how are they going to sell those cars?
Oh, people buy them.
Well, people will buy
Yeah.
them, but they'll be heavily discounted, I'm sure. Because
Yeah.
you're buying a 3-year-old vehicle.
Yep.
You know, right now, if you have a 2021, your vehicle's 3 years old, or it will be in 5 months. It'll be 3 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Because as soon as the 24s, as soon as the first person says, "Here's the new 2024 or something," your vehicle's 3.5 to 4 years old.
Yep.
Isn't that crazy?
Isn't that
Golly,
stupid?
man. So anyway, yeah, no, I'm not looking forward to getting. I don't want a new truck, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to.
Well, not to take a big right or left hand turn here,
what are we
but
doing?
you've been watching any good movies lately?
You know what?
What you been streaming, Tate?
Well, obviously 1923, but
yeah.
you know, but it hadn't been on, so it wasn't on this week, so I didn't get to see that. There's a new show that my wife wants to watch, and I don't remember the name of it. We haven't started it yet, but it'll be a series of something that she wants to. One of her friends was like, "Oh, we watch it, and you guys would like it." So, and I can't remember the name of it. I haven't really seen. I mean, I don't know. I've kind of watched some old movies. Like went back and we rewatched some stuff.
Oh yeah, Bloodsport. I love that movie, dude.
So
It's so good.
There's a few, like we watched the other night. We watched Fool's Gold with Matthew McConaughey.
Oh yeah,
that's a good movie. I forgot how I liked it. It's funny.
Yeah.
There's a lot of funny parts in it, and yeah, it's a good movie. I like that one. We watched that one the other night, and I'm like, I haven't seen that movie in a long time.
I went on a little bit of a binge this weekend. Whenever I'd wake up in the morning, I'd watch a movie and then try to get those rotors switched out. And then at the end of the night, I'd watched 3 movies this weekend.
Oh, yeah?
The John Wick movies.
Oh, they're not
ever
too
see
bad.
those?
Absolutely.
For what they are,
They're not too bad.
dude, it's
Not too bad.
just like, oh yeah. But, one big complaint, because on these things, like he'll throw a guy against the wall, then he'll shoot him in the chest, and then shoot him in the head. It's just like, why don't you just shoot him in the head? Save a bullet.
Wow. Yeah. But that wouldn't have been as cool.
Right.
It's
like he's a wasteful assassin.
You're going to run out of ammunition.
Yeah.
Oh, We Are Marshall. We watched that last night.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a great one.
That's a good movie.
It's a good. Matthew McConaughey does such a good job in that movie.
Yeah.
That's 2 Matthew McConaughey movies I've seen.
Yeah.
The last couple of weeks.
Look at you.
So look at me go with the Matthew McConaughey. But
You watch Ed TV?
Ed TV, no.
You ever see that movie? It's a Matthew McConaughey movie.
I don't think so.
It's like, okay, oh God, what was that? Mid-90s?
Okay.
I'm wanting to say. He was he won some contest to where this like struggling cable network or whatever, they decided they're going to make this show basically where you would have cameras follow you around 24/7.
That'd be miserable.
And it would be broadcast live on this station.
That'd be miserable.
And people would just watch you all day. And at first people were like, "Oh, this is stupid." And
then like
just
the Truman Show?
as it goes on, well, except for like the cameras are there, and he's just like walking down the street, and then all of a sudden he starts getting popular, and then it starts getting weird, and then anyway, it's a good movie. It's a really good movie.
Well, yeah, I don't know if I've seen that.
Yeah,
Honestly,
it's pretty good. I used to have it on VHS. I guess I still do technically, and I also lately I've been revisiting the Rambo franchise. Dude, First Blood was so hard to beat, man. That's so good.
Yeah, it's so good. When he hides in the mud bank, and he goes like this, opens his eyes.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. Rambo's were good. The first two were good. Mm-hmm. After that, and actually the last one wasn't bad.
Yeah.
I'm like, a little far, but it's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I enjoyed it. But the first two were great. And then it's kind of like Ocean's 11.
Yeah.
And then Ocean's 12, Ocean's 13. It's Ocean's 27 now, or whatever it is. I don't know.
Now they have them as like an all-female.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the first couple were, I was like, man, those are good movies.
Yeah.
That was fun. It's kind of like the Fast and Furious. I saw the first one when it came out because it was like supposed to be cool. And then I'm like, yeah, I'm not into it. I just really wasn't into it. And now it's like Fast and Furious. And then it was faster and furious, more furious. And then it's sort of quick and mad now, I think. I don't know what it is. It's so
I may have this wrong, but isn't like one of the last ones that came out like they were driving a car in space? Is that like a thing?
I don't know.
Is that what happened?
I don't know.
I heard that, but I don't know if it's actually true.
It might be. I don't know. But yeah, I'm not a Fast and Furious guy at all. I didn't get into that or anything like that. But yeah.
Well, one thing I have to bring up.
Okay.
Before the close of this show here.
All right.
So a week or two ago, I made some bread, a loaf of bread out of chicken.
Yeah. It's not bread, by the way.
It was bread.
It's not bread, dude.
It was bread.
No, you made a chicken meatloaf.
It was good. It was really good.
Was it really?
It was really good. Yeah. I took it for lunch, like a slice of it every day. Took it for lunch.
One slice, that's what you get?
Well, that wasn't my entire lunch. But
oh, I'm on rations. I'm on chicken bread rations.
So I made that and I was like, man, this is really good. Except for I seasoned it with like this chicken rub. So it was really chickeny, it was like really like imagine the flavor of like
chicken.
of chicken ramen, right? Ramen noodles, like the chicken flavor.
Yeah.
Really salt like that.
Salty.
Yeah. That's what it was. So I was like, okay, next time I'll season it just a little bit less and kind of see how that.
Right.
And then I started thinking to myself, what if
you put some cheese and jalapenos in that?
Well, no. Here, okay. What about this? Instead of seasoning it with that, I would just season it with with garlic, like a garlic salt or garlic seasoning.
Absolutely.
And then take a slice of it, put some marinara on top of there and some noodles. You have basically chicken parm, but it's bread.
I don't.
And then there's this
Then
there's this other dude. I started following him on Facebook. He had like this old ancient recipe book, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And
He's a little skinny guy?
Yes.
Oh, dude.
And he made chicken. I'm made up with chicken. He made bread out of ice cream. And then he made bread out of like pinto beans.
Yeah. I haven't seen the bread ones, but he made the almond joys. It's perfect. If you like almond joys, go back and watch that, dude. I'll follow him on TikTok.
Yeah,
I'm over Christmas because we make candies and stuff at Christmas time. I'm making almond joys and mounds. Mounds are my favorite, right? So I'm like, because like the dark chocolate. So I made the it's like evaporated milk or condensed. I don't know, condensed milk and unsweet coconut and stuff like. I mean, it's easy. It's so there's like 3 ingredients. That's it.
Yeah.
And then you melt your chocolate, dip them, put your almonds for the almond joy, milk chocolate for those, and just no almonds and dark chocolate for the other ones. I will tell you, I ate every single one of them. It was just like the Mounds, and I used the Hershey's chocolate, the Hershey's special dark chocolate chips.
Oh yeah.
Instead of just Toll House or whatever. So I used the Hershey's dark chocolate chips, melted those down, and I dipped them in there. Dude, I probably ate 40 of them. And I cut them into little blocks, little rectangles, just like oh my God. It was Mounds. It was Almond Joy.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, it was so easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I ate every one of them.
Well, that chicken bread was so easy too.
So
next week, I tell you what, next week
you're going to bring me a piece of chicken.
I am going to, if I can get off work in time to make this and then get home.
How long does it take to make?
I can't remember. I'm wanting to say you have to let it cook for about a half hour. So I think I have some time.
Well, just make it the day before. Don't you keep it in the fridge?
Oh, no, dude. When it's fresh out of the oven, hot. Oh, so good.
It's not bread, just so you know.
Yes, it is.
So you can put butter on it and make a sandwich out of it.
Yeah.
And it would be like bread and butter. No shot. It's chicken.
You have to take the flavor into consideration. You got to think, okay, what goes well with chicken? I tell you what, I took like a little thing of buffalo sauce, dipped little pieces of bread in there. Dude, son.
So you made meatloaf.
So long, turkey.
You made chicken meatloaf.
It was bread.
No, it's meatloaf. That's what you made. You made a chicken meatloaf.
Meatloaf is a little different texture. It was good.
How does it get airy? Like, because bread has the little air pockets and stuff. How does it get there?
Baking powder.
I don't trust it.
I don't trust it. I'll tell you what. If I can do it, I'll. If I can swing it in time, because it takes a little bit to.
What kind of chicken do you use?
Ground chicken.
Just ground chicken.
A pound of ground chicken.
A pound of ground chicken. Eggs, obviously, because you got to have some eggs.
A pound of ground chicken, some eggs. What was it? Baking powder, baking soda, and whatever seasoning. That's it.
And that's it. And you put it in a bread form.
Yep.
Bread pan and bake it.
I'm telling you, you don't know what you're missing, Tater.
You know what I saw out of ground chicken the other day? A guy made McDonald's chicken nuggets.
Oh, yeah.
Out of the ground chicken. He made little patties out of them, breaded them. And I don't know if he had the recipe for the McDonald's seasoning, because he was like, these are the seasonings you need.
Yeah.
And it will taste just like a McDonald's chicken nugget. And I'm like,
dude, I can sit there and eat chicken nuggets.
Dude, McDonald's chicken nuggets are amazing, right?
No dipping sauce, just straight up.
Yeah, I don't need the dipping sauce.
I'm right there.
I get it. I get the hot mustard because it's my favorite. It's my favorite.
God,
hot mustard. Listen. Hot mustard is great on them. I dip my fries in it mainly, but no, I can eat chicken nuggets just bang bang, just go.
Oh yeah.
And remember when they had the 20-piece nugget was a meal.
Oh yeah.
You had the 20-piece large fry and a drink was like $4.99 or whatever.
Dude, one time I cleared a 50-piece.
Oh, that's easy.
Well,
I'm telling you, I could do it. I could do it right after I ate. I can eat my meal, and
I
then
don't know.
bring
Once
in,
you hit about 40, it's just like
the flavor.
I'm starting to sweat.
Well, you get the meat sweats, but you get flavor fatigue. That's when you start dipping them, right? Yeah. So we had a buddy that worked at KFC years ago, and KFC's chicken nuggets were they were.
I don't think I ever had them.
Dude, they didn't have them very long, but they were the best.
Yeah.
They were the best fast food chicken nugget ever. And I don't know why they got away from them. I mean, it was so much better than McDonald's or anywhere else. The first time it was like the original recipe chicken nugget. But it was like kind of, they were kind of like McDonald's, like crispy like that, but it was the original recipe.
Dude, I'm trying to lose weight.
It was
what are we doing?
Fantastic. It was the best. So my buddy Rusty worked at KFC in Belton. And we'd go up and be like, we'd go through the drive-thru. And he was like, welcome to KFC. And I'm like, yeah, Rusty. I'm like, what's up, Rusty? It's me. Oh, what's up, fellas? You know, we're like, yeah, what's up? He's like, what do you guys want? We're like, I don't know, some chicken nugs, some of those, the potato wedges.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they don't even have those anymore.
Yeah.
We want some potato wedges and throw in some couple biscuits. All right, I got you guys. Roll up to the window. You know the big boxes?
Yeah.
Crammed full. He couldn't have got another chicken nugget in it. I think we counted like 72 at one point. And he would throw that in there, a box of biscuits, a whole big another container full of the wedges. And he'd be like, you guys want some gravy or something to dip them in? Yeah.
Gravy.
So he'd give us a couple big things.
Ooh,
gravy.
Gravy on my chicken bread.
That'd be good.
That would
it's
be
like chicken meatloaf again. So I'm telling you, dude. And so anyway, he'd be like, I don't know, give me $5. And burn out. Yeah, it was so good. And we would just sit and grub on that. And then Chris Brackett worked at Burger King. Dude, I had the hookup in high school.
Oh, yeah.
Because all my friends worked at fast food places. So we'd go to, in the morning, on the weekends. Well, we had a Hardee's in Belton for a while.
Yeah.
And so Saturday mornings, we'd go to Burger King because Chris would work, right? When we weren't wrestling.
Yeah.
So we'd go there and he'd be like, we'd go in. We'd be like, he was like, I got you. And we'd get biscuits and gravy and hash browns and all kinds of breakfast sandwiches in a giant bag stuffed full of food.
Yeah.
All right, there you guys go. See ya. We'd burn out.
There you go.
And we'd have 10 biscuits with gravy on them. And I mean, literally 10, 12 breakfast sandwiches, a whole bag full of the little hash brown things.
Oh, my God.
So then Drew, our buddy Drew, worked at Subway. Yeah. So we'd go to Subway.
Perfect.
And be like, hey, give me that sandwich. So he got to where we would make our own bread at Subway. Because they came in the little loaf things and they just put them in the trays and bake them. He would take like a white bread one, just a regular bread, and the wheat bread, and he would braid it to make this giant loaf. And that would be our sandwich.
Oh, God.
Dude, we'd both have one. And we would just load them up, man. It was like 4 damn footlongs together. It was amazing.
Holy smoke.
Yeah, dude. And that was all like, hey, I don't know. So, but Hardee's.
Oh, yeah.
Hardee's is one of my favorite. That was one of my favorite fast food chains. Anyway.
I had to hook up at Hardee's in Harrisonville.
Hardee's, all you could eat biscuits and gravy on Sunday mornings for $1.
Oh, really?
99 cents.
Well,
Yep.
buddy of mine used to make me this monstrous hot ham and cheese. Oh, so
They were so good. So they had Hardee's had 2 melts for $2 when I was in high school.
Oh, wow.
So that's a roast beef and cheese, a ham and cheese, or a mushroom and Swiss burger.
All right, we got to stop that.
That was their 3. Dude, I would go in there and spend like $8. I would get 2 ham and cheese, 2 mushroom and Swiss, and then a big thing of curly fries.
Oh, my God. We got to change the subject. I'm trying to lose weight. I started thinking to myself, I was like, man, I should stop by something on the way home, get me a big old thing of chicken McNuggets.
Chicken nuggets,
Like,
man.
stop it.
Yeah. And anyway, so...
Anyway.
Yeah. So this weekend, like I said, we got the thing in Nebraska.
Showcase.
Yeah, and we'll hopefully get some shows out of that. I think we got a good shot at getting a few out of that, and getting our summer jump started with that. Like I said, we already have shows coming in from other places, so yeah, it'll be a good time. It'll be a good summer, I think. And anything else we need to go over?
Not that I can think of.
Oh my goodness! I heard a good one. I heard a good dad joke.
Oh, did you?
Oh man! If you want to hear anything, you want us to talk about anything, obviously we talk about anything. We talk about everything. Oh,
I will say one thing. I had the weirdest dream last night. I forgot I was going to tell you about this.
Oh, boy.
I had a dream that went on vacation and went to the beach. Like it was, I'm wanting to say it was like down in Florida or something like, you know, the beach and everything.
Yeah.
And went to the ocean and everything like that. And the ocean was full of orange soda. It was a fantasy. Dad jokes. Dad jokes. Dad jokes. Dad jokes.
Oh.
It's a little bit better.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. That's rich. All right. Well, if you guys want to hear anything, let us know. Obviously, Jesus, we're oh, that's okay. Anyway, fantasy. Fantasy.
Fantasy.
I get it. Oh, anyway, it doesn't even matter. I'm not talking anymore. We're done. If you like what you hear, let us know. Leave us a comment. And like I said, if you want us to hit anything that you want us to talk about or learn about or anything like that, we can surely do that. So leave us a comment. Leave us a 5-star rating. You know how share this thing. And
that's right.
Yeah, we will. We'll see you on the next time on the flippity floppity flip side. All right, we out.
Ain't this a sweet life?
Hey guys, thanks for listening. Want to ask a question for a future episode? Well, hit us up on Facebook or Twitter with hashtag SweetLifePodcast. And be sure to give us a 5-star rating and hit that subscribe button. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, or wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure you follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter to stay up to date on the latest news and information for the Sweet Life Podcast. And we'll see you next time.